Okay, so what we're going to be doing in this technical exercise is to calculate a basic value attribution analysis in private equity. So I'm showing here on my screen the basic problem that we're going to work through together. And so the company's name is Ecobat, and I want to detect this or calculate the sources of value that I have in Ecobat. So the fund invests in Ecobat at the end of 2010. At that time, the figures of Ecobat were sales of 100 million, EBITDA of 20 million, net debt of 20 million, and the fund invested 32 million for 40% stake, all money in. That means all as a capital increase, not as purchase of existing shares. At the end of 2016, the exit takes place and the fund receives proceeds of 260 million euros. At that time, the figures of the company are sales of 280, EBITDA of 70 million and debt of 50 million. And so the object of this exercise is to make a basic calculation of value attribution between the effect of the metric, the multiple, and the leverage effect. So here, let's go to my Excel spreadsheet in which I'm making the calculation. So let's go to the top here where we can see it. So we've got an investment of 32, a stake of 40%, exit proceeds of 260, 6-year investment period, which is 2010 to 2016. So at entry, I've got here 20 million EBITDA, debt of 20. My equity investment is therefore 80, which is my 32 million investment for 40% stake, which translates into an 80 million valuation of 100% based upon my investment valuation. The enterprise value of 100 is therefore my 80 of equity plus my net debt of 20. And that means the valuation multiple at entry of 5 is my 100 divided by my EBITDA of 20, which gives me 5. At exit, EBITDA is 70, net debt is 50, and I receive exit proceeds of 260, which translates into a valuation equal to 260 divided by 0.4, again, which is 650. So at this point, my enterprise value is 700, which is 650 plus 50 of net debt. And my multiple at exit is going to be the 700 divided into 70, which is a multiple of 10. In this column, then, I work out the differences. So 50 is the 70 minus 20. The net debt is increased by 30, which is 50 minus 20. The equity profit is 570, which is the 650 minus the 80. And the enterprise value change is 600, which is 700 minus 100. And the change in multiples is my 10 minus my 5 of before. This is, in fact, the IRR and the cash multiple. So in this case, it's a fairly successful investment. I can now break down where the sources of value are coming from. So the EBITDA effect of 250 I calculate by taking my EBITDA difference, which I get from here, which is 50, and I multiply that by my valuation multiple at entry of 5, and that measures the effect of the growth in earnings. The multiple effect is different. For my multiple effect, I take C9, which is the EBITDA exit, and I multiply that by the difference in multiples, which is 5, and that gives me 350 for the multiple effect. And the leverage effect is simply the negative increase in debt. And if you take these three, they add up to 570, which is equal to the capital gain that I made. And so in this basic exercise, we can see that 44% of the value creation comes from growing the business, 61% comes from selling the business at a higher price than I bought it at, and -5 from the increase in debt. And that is a basic calculation in value attribution analysis.